Okay, hello. Today is April the 10th, 2019, and I will be reading through the Declarations and Covenant. I'm going to start with the index and move on from there. So that we can get this on the record without having to go through the committees again because we've already done this one time in committee. So the Articles Index of a Declaration of the Rights of the People of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is found within the Declarations and Resolve. And my name is Timothy Allen Harmon. I am the moderator, coordinator, and at the moment first delegate from the Pennsylvania Natural Law Grand Jural Assembly. As I create this video, I'm going to actually put the what I'm reading onto the screen. So, number 1, mankind is born free at conception. Number 2, worship. Number 3, self-governing. Number 4, servants of we the people. Number 5, reformation or to abolish government. Number 6, our servants' conduct reduced. Number 7, elections. Number 8, life, liberty, and no direct tax. Number 9, judicial form. Number 10, warrants, searches, and seizures. Number 11, private property and trial by jury. Number 12, speech, writing, and publishing. Number 13, title of nobility. Number 14, the right to bear arms. Number 15, guarding the government. Number 16, travelers. Number 17, redress of grievances. Number 18, quartering soldiers. Number 19 is rights retained. Number 20, reserved rights. Number 21, marriages. Number 22, corruption of contracts, copyright, copy claim, trademarks, trade names, patents. Number 23, reporting events. Number 24, moral conduct. Number 25, water and nutrition. Number 26, biohazards, frequencies, and chemicals. Number 27, medical. Number 28, English. Number 29, banking forms of exchange and hypothecation. Number 30, education of the public. Number 31, immigration. Number 32, term limits. Number 33, information systems. Number 34, alcohol. Number 35, energy. Number 36, pensions, funds, retirement. Number 37 is the common good, and that is the common good financial system. Continuing to read, the document known as a Declaration of the Rights of the Inhabitants of the Commonwealth or State of Pennsylvania, that was circa 1776, is updated and replaced herein by a declaration of the honorable rights of the people, by the people, and for the people on the soil of the Commonwealth or State of Pennsylvania. And this is 2019. Articles of our Declaration. 1A. That all mankind are born equally free and independent from conception, and have certain natural, inherent, and unalienable rights, freedoms, and having reserved all those rights, whether those rights are enumerated or not, amongst which are to enjoy life, to defend life and liberty, to acquire, possess, and protect property, improvements, property, improvements, and land to pursue and obtain happiness and safety wisely or foolishly. 1b. For government is created by the people. Governments do not grant rights, and government cannot take rights from the people. The created cannot tell the creator what to create, contract, or not to contract, for these are by the people. Herein government adheres to leave us alone unless they need to know. 1c. For all mankind are created equal. There is no forced system of inequity. Number 1d. For the style of the laws of this Commonwealth shall be, it is enacted, and it is hereby enacted by the delegates and senators of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in unincorporated General Assembly met, and by the authority of the same. And the General Jural Assembly shall affix their seal to every bill as soon as it is enacted in the law, which seal shall be kept by the Jural Assembly, and shall be called the seal of the laws of Pennsylvania, and shall not be used for any other purpose. All law is sent to the notary of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to be sealed upon justification, for both seals must be present, or the law is void. Be noticed, the Pennsylvania Natural Law Grand Jural Assembly is working as an unincorporated General Jural Assembly, and also in the absence of the Pennsylvania Congress assembled, of the delegates, senators, from each of the 16 communities. And that concludes Part 1. Part 2 is worship. That all men have a natural and unalienable right to worship according to the dictates of their own conscience and understanding. Religious worship cannot be prohibited, and the use of natural artifact for religious purpose shall not be refused except beyond natural consumption or natural prohibition, and that no man ought of right can be compelled to attend any religious worship, or erect or support any place of worship, or maintain any ministry, creed, or church contrary to or against his free will and consent. Nor can any man who acknowledges the being of an Almighty God be justly deprived or abridged of any civil right as a Pennsylvanian lawful citizen, or account of his religious sentiments or peculiar mode of religious worship, and that no authority can be vested in or assumed by any power whatever that shall in any case interfere with or in any manner control the right of conscience in the free exercise of worship, which includes no intentional harm or injury to anyone or God's creation. Continuing, 2BA. Pennsylvania shall make no law respecting the establishment of any moral religion. 2BB. For an immoral organization, by method or practice causing harm or injury, or outside of upright moral constructs, or an association of society only, for no corporate or commercial, imaginary or dead agent, public officer, association of society, or government can interfere with or create religion, churches, nonprofit, or hold divine authority. Number 2BC. For the profit-driven 501c3 IRS-coded incorporations or like kind, Roman Catholic Church, Roman, in commerce, agents, Jesuits, the Church of England, and other foreign so-called religious organizations or the like, claims of nobility, papacy, monarch, or the like are considered corporate entities and immoral until proven to be unincorporated based on the soil by verification of the natural law grand jury or 23 Pennsylvanians. Number 2BD. For any nonprofit, church, ministry, or religious organizations without verified recorded claim on the soil of Pennsylvania and showing no commercial incorporated knots cannot participate in the gift of life special fund, or any affiliated programs. And here's a note that the affiliated programs or the gift of life will be explained at a later time. Number 2C, for no church, religion, or religious structure can be a non-profit or corporation, incorporated, or commercial vessel, or hold any ecclesiastical government except unto itself and members thereof. Number 2DA, for a church must hold to a high standard that will keep moral goodness and uphold the inherent right of the infant, insane, and infirm. Number 2DB, for it is the responsibility of the church under moral guidance of nature's law, nature's creator, the common law, and natural or common law grand jury, by accepting free gifts from any public grant to for the care of the infirm, insane, or infant, and the widow, that it not mix church and state commercially. For any free gift is given into the bosom of the church gratefully and freely without attachments, and that gift cannot be given or accepted lawfully. Okay, 2DC. For specific commercial tax on energies or sin tax, such as lotteries, bingo, and such operated by churches or by common law grand jury oversight committees, is permitted to subsidize the churches. This is allowed because it is the people and not government or any corporate structure in oversight by nonprofits to secure the general welfare, spirituality, and physicality of the needy and those in despair. It is the duty of the people of the community to take care of those who cannot care for themselves within the financial abilities of that community, for at no time shall the community be financially overburdened by this concern. Number 2DD, for commercial and governmental social welfare is void. Therefore, no commercial or government agencies have authority to oversee by force the welfare of people. It is the spiritual and practical right and duty of local churches to care for the welfare of our communities. Number 2DE, the common law grand jury or natural law grand jury will appoint committees to oversee the public good and welfare. And those committees can be part and partial. There is a separation between church and state, but this is part and partial because the people are dealing with these concerns and not government. For we hold the Geneva Bible as royal, holy, inherent, unalienable maxim of law, and that's number 2E. Okay, continuing on. Number 3, self-governing. Number 3A, that the people of Pennsylvania have sole, exclusive, inherent right of governing and regulating the internal administrators, peace officers, police, marshals, sheriff, militia, military, or constables of Pennsylvania on Pennsylvania, and that no private or foreign power can create law, hold authority, or rule or regulate in Pennsylvania. Number 3B. Four, every mankind born on the soil of Pennsylvania is a Pennsylvania national, with the right of self-governing. For any claim to the contrary is void from the beginning because of any misidentification, or claim of death without a death certificate, or claim of being an enemy combatant without verified physical proof of treason or sedition by a natural law grand jury, or claim of being lost at sea when the physical body is present, or claim to make of being a foreign trust, or any false allegation for which any of these would be a criminal trespass. Now, number 4, servants of the people. That because all power is originally inherent in, consequently derived from, the people, therefore all those who choose to fill public offices in Pennsylvania are administrative servants and or stewards, and are at all times accountable to the people, for all public offices are by the people. Therefore, any private office is void of the power of attorney or authority over any Pennsylvanian or Pennsylvania national. Number 5, reform or abolish government. That our administrators are assigned and delegated for the common benefit, protection, and security of the people, community, and nation, and not for the particular emolument or advantage of any single man, family, or set of men who are a part only of that community, and that the community hath an indelible, unalienable, and indefeasible right to reform, alter, or abolish governance or office in such manner as shall be that community judged most conducive to the public will. Part 6, Servants' Conduct. Part 6a. For that those who are administrators of state or community duties shall be restrained from exceeding their delegated duties and responsibilities or perpetrating public immoral actions, the people have a right, as the people may think proper, for by 2/3 election by the General Assembly can terminate their public administrators' duties and responsibilities and fill the vacancies until the next election by 2/3 election by the General Assembly starting within 60 days or as is timely. An administrator may be suspended from duties without pay for suspicion of public immoral actions by the sheriff, pending trial verdict. Number 6b. For to the end that all officers chosen to serve within Pennsylvania may with more care and diligence answer the trust reposed in them. It is agreed that no such person shall enjoy more than one public office at one time in conflict, nor shall he be capable of any public office of trust in Pennsylvania that hath an office or part in any other government, and accepting that such foreign office, title, or part in or of any foreign government, he shall immediately cease to be an officer in Pennsylvania. And that should be in or on Pennsylvania. Number 6c. For without proof of life and allegiance to living on the soil of Pennsylvania, by agreement and proper function at the land jurisdiction, which is required to hold public office in Pennsylvania, therefore any immoral agent, foreign citizen, British accreditation registered, bar participant, Masonic temple participant in any foreign or other immoral government or society, holder of title of nobility or presentment by a foreign agent or country, Ku Klux Klan, KKK, participant, or the like, cannot hold or keep any public office or government placement or structure, and neither has any word therein on the land of Pennsylvania. And here is a note. The intent of the following by Pennsylvanians is not to place any written previous law above this covenant. The purpose of this and other notes to historic elements is the consideration of our intention that is near the intentions of the old writings. C. The Statutes at Large, 1682, Appendix 3, Laws agreed upon in England, William Penn. Number 34, page 324, shall be such as profess faith in Jesus Christ. Number 4D. For all people who are elected, chosen, and appointed to serve in any office in Pennsylvania shall be such as are only of Pennsylvania and that live on the soil personally thereon. Number 6E. For it is mankind's right of living inheritance in and on the soil of Pennsylvania, which is by our God's nature and of nature's God, natural law, and the heavenly upright and moral maxims that all mankind is created equal and is of an equal station from conception. Note, only upon the absolute potential of mortal harm of the maternal parent can the rule of conception be broken. Number 6F. For residence in Pennsylvania is not commercial, but is foreign. Number 6G. For only government can collect taxes, collect fees, tax, or the like for government. For absolutely no outside agent, company, corporation, foreign or domestic, can collect fees, tax, funds, structures, or any kind for the people or government of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. For the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania state are equal on the land. For the state of Pennsylvania is our international title. Number 6H. For corporations, companies, commercial entities, and such are created by mankind and operated by mankind and have no life of themselves. Therefore, those who operate that corporation or commercial entity are responsible for the actions of that corporation. Corporations are the extension of mankind created to support mankind in commercial structure and development. Number 6I. For government has no authority or power of attorney to create or fund any social, corporate, or private corporation, organizations, structures, or programs. The people alone create and are responsible for corporations, private, social, and public organizations and programs. For the term sovereign citizen and the like can be an oxymoron when used in a derogatory mindset. Therefore, when used, creates no change in status or capacity. For when an officer or agent of any government uses this kind of terminology, it proves that officer is in the foreign jurisdiction and has no authority. For mankind born on the soil, which is Pennsylvania, is sovereign and is lawful and is a lawful citizen. For a sovereign mankind cannot be a U.S. citizen and hold dual citizenship. Number 7, elections. For all elections shall be free, and that all men and women are lawful citizen as a member of the sovereign body of the people of Pennsylvania, having a sufficient evident common interest with and attachment to the community, have a right to elect officers or to be elected into office. Officers are elected or appointed by the people on the land only, and no breakdown of the electorate shall be created. For the right of Pennsylvanians to vote shall not be denied or abridged on account of race, color, sex, creed, or previous condition of servitude, and a minimum of living in that community 12 months and 1 day is required. The minimum voting age is 18 years. For the election of administrators are by the lawful citizens of the neighborhood or communities only. Number 7D. For elections are by ballot, paper ballots. The counting of ballots is by manual tabulation of the panel of no less than 5 lawful citizens for redundancy. They are of honest, non-biased, nonpartisan temperament. Third-party election commissioners who receive a lump sum twice a year per election's compensation, appointed by the Election Oversight Council, consisting of the community notary, sheriff, commissioner, and scribe. Number 7E. For convicted felons cannot vote until their sentence is finished. 7F. All elections, whether by the people or in General Assembly, shall be by paper ballot, free and voluntary, and any elector who shall receive any gift or reward for his vote, in meat, drink, moneys, or otherwise, shall forfeit his right to elect for that time, and suffer such other penalties as future laws shall direct. And any person who shall directly or indirectly give, promise, or bestow any such rewards to the elected or elector upon conviction or guilty verdict shall be thereby rendered incapable to serve for the ensuing 2 years and fined no less than $1,000 and a minimum 15 days in jail. Number 7G. For every man or woman elected to office must have lived in the community for 2 years before holding that office and must continue to live in that community while holding that office. The only exception is when a new community is created or the move is less than 3 months to the next election of that office. The neighborhood level may elect for 1 year before holding office. Number 7H. Every living Pennsylvanian of a full age of 18 years, having lived in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for a space of 1 year, 1 whole year and 1 day, before the day of election of administrators, and paid sales tax during that time, shall enjoy the right of an elector. And 1 elector is equal to 1 vote for 1 candidate per office. Note: examples of a sales receipt or utility bills, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania identification card, or 2 autographs of other electors, witnesses, parents, to the facts for the new elector, with the elector's name and Pennsylvania location or address from 1 year prior for the first-time elector, will be good evidence of status. And that should be 1 year and 1 day. Okay. Number 7I. For elections shall be held on the first Tuesday of the months of May and November. Election polls shall be administered and open from 8 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. Absentee ballots shall be available and can be received 2 weeks prior to the election and shall be sealed and opened the day of election after the polls have closed. Pre-approval of all electors is required no less than 18 hours before the election. The proof of an elector's status and capacity per the election rules is required. We declare that the age of holding public office is 21 years for community and 25 years Commonwealth or state level elections. We declare that the age of 21 years is required to hold any lesser office, such as family or neighborhood level. Number 8. Life, liberty, and no direct tax. Number A. That all land, improvements, and private property is protected by the state shall pay its just proportion toward the expense of police and fire protection and anything else elected, if we choose to pay. Determined by the administrators of the people and backed by grand jury. But no part of the people's land, improvements, or property can be taken from them or applied to public use without giving just and agreeable compensation and or without receiving the owner's consent. Nor are the people bound by any laws but such as they have in like manner assented to for their common good. Therefore, no direct tax on private or agricultural land or improvements at any location shall be considered. Therein sales tax is a proper alternative. For nor can any man who is conscientiously scrupulous of bearing arms be justly compelled thereto, if he will pay such equivalent, whereas no man can be forced to war against another. Number 8BA. Private land or soil, location, property, improvements, and such conveyed by contract, handshake, or bill of sale for private warranty deed on the soil and land and is kept by the family structure for private purposes granted. Trespass shall be enforced. Private location property soil which differs from agricultural by the size of acreage and the simple fact that agriculture is the farming of commodities or preservation of the environment through farming practices. Therefore, a garden patch is less than 5 acres, a homestead is less than 20 acres, a small farm is less than 60 acres in crop or 120 acres total. A large family farm is larger than 120 acres but less than 300 acres. Over 300 acres in crop could be commercial. A farm classification must grow crops or preserve the environment. Number 8BC. Mines and mining are not agricultural. For agricultural, commercial, industrial weights and measures are set by the Pennsylvania State Congress. Assembled. The term residential does not attach to Pennsylvanians, but exists only for foreign people. Number 8C. For the IRS or the Internal Revenue Service and the International Monetary Fund and the U.S. Treasury are foreign and have no authority to collect taxes on the soil or land which is Pennsylvania or from any Pennsylvanian. Judicial form. For that in all prosecutions for criminal offenses, a man or woman has a right to be heard by his or herself and his or her assistance of counsel or friend, to demand the cause and nature of any accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses, to call for evidence in his or her favor, and to have a speedy public trial by an impartial jury of his or her people from the local community and personally known by him or her, without the unanimous consent of which jury he or she cannot be found guilty. Nor can he or she be compelled to give evidence against himself or herself, nor can any man or woman be justly deprived of his liberty or freedom except by the laws of the living mankind, which is the land jurisdiction or the judgment of his peers, not admiralty, not maritime, not any other civil law, private law, or legality, unless under the lawful military tribunal of this country. Number 9B. For no mankind can be held to answer for a capital criminal or otherwise infamous crime unless on the presentment or indictment of an unincorporated, natural, or common law grand jury, with jury nullifications, no exceptions. Special considerations given in cases arising on the land or naval forces for those in the military, when in actual service in time of war or public danger according to military tribunal. No civilian will be tried in a military tribunal, nor shall any people be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall he be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Number 9D. For in suits of equity, natural or common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $50, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court than according to the rules of the natural or common law on Pennsylvania. Number E. For excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishments inflicted. 9F. For that in courts all persons of all persuasions may freely appeal in their own way and according to their own manner, and their personally plead their own cause themselves, or if unable, by their friends. And the first process shall be the exhibition of the claim in court 14 days before the trial, and that the party complained against may be fitted for the same. He or she shall be summoned no less than 10 days before, and a copy of the claim delivered to him or her at his or her dwelling house or place of work. But before the complaint or claim of any mankind be received, he shall solemnly declare in court that he believes in his conscience his cause is just. Number G. That all mankind wrongfully imprisoned or made to pay tribute or prosecuted at law illegally or at color of law shall have double damages against the informers or the opponents of the prosecutor, and the informers can be held for perjury and placed in jail no less than 15 days. Number H. That all briberies and extortions whatsoever shall be severely punished. Number 9J. For taxes, fees, licenses, registrations by foreign or commercial entities of Pennsylvania nationals is extortion if on the soil on Pennsylvania, except the foreign or domestic country or corporation set fees for employee of that same corporation for products or services rendered to that employee. Number 9L. I want to make a note that if there are any changes within this structure that you might read differently, that what I am reading is the proper update. For that all witnesses coming or called to testify their knowledge in or to any claim, matter or thing in any court, or before any lawful authority within Pennsylvania, shall there give or deliver in their evidence or testimony by solemnly promising to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, by affirmation to the matter or thing in question. And in case any people so called to evidence shall afterwards be convicted of wilful falsehood or perjury, such person or people shall suffer and undergo such damage or penalty as the people against whom he or she bore false witness did or should undergo, and also make satisfaction to the party wrong, and be publicly exposed as a false witness, never to be credited to any court or before any magistrate in the said community or nation except by the natural law grand jury. Okay, so that's by a natural law grand jury. Number 9M. For any commercial foreign agent or foreigner or holder of any foreign title cannot hold a lawful status or standing in or at Pennsylvania tribal, natural, or common law or grand jury. Number N. For only a living mankind can access or work as counsel or private counsel in our unincorporated equity or common, natural, and common law courts, and must be in agreement with this covenant. Number 9O. For when a living testimony cannot be given by mankind for verification of any dispute because the mankind be dead or incapacitated beyond comprehension, then another friend or public counsel must stand for his or her stead. Number P. For thought crimes are void of content and cannot be prosecuted. Private property is not public property. Thoughts are private property. without verified harm or injury to mankind or property, no crime by thought has been committed without verified proof or harm or injury. Number Q. For all private or public corporate mercenaries, foreign or domestic, any state of state in capital letters, agent, state of state agent, not in capital letters, police, private police, agent, security, administrator, or other operating under color of law is forbidden and considered criminal trespass. Number QA. For any law enforcement agent, officer, or agent being untruthful while on duty is a crime of trespass. Number QB. For peace officers, sheriff, agents of law enforcement desiring to extend their duty to include an openly stated untruth must acquire status and standing for a special operation warrant. Held to only one operation specifically, explained as to what is being searched for by an unincorporated common law grand jury held in confidence with a senator oversight, and a warrant shall be ordered for that purpose upon approval by that grand jury. Number 9R. RA. For all contract paperwork and document will only be written in a single language. Any attempt to taint the language of any document or paperwork will be a criminal trespass. Number RB. For all lawful paperwork must be cohesive and intelligible, written in only one language. Number S. For any licensing, permit, or registration of lawful acts is racketeering and extortion, and is a crime of criminal trespass and criminal negligence upon Pennsylvanians. Any assumption or presumption concerning lawful acts created by any foreign or commercial agent causing harm or injury will be considered the crime of criminal negligence and more. Number T. For mankind, DNA and stable consciousness is private property. Therefore, DNA cannot be attacked, given or taken without full disclosure and written consent, otherwise it is by an act of inland piracy and an act of war. Number U. For all presumption of mankind's domicile, status, and standing is first that mankind is living and standing in Pennsylvania common law, domiciled or living on the soil of birthright and at the land jurisdiction from the beginning until proven otherwise. For unlawful presumption is a crime of personage and identity theft and unlawful conversion. Number 9VA. For senators and sheriffs can request a common law grand jury to intercede for any contested action or preventative action. The grand jury will convene within 30 days. Number 9VB. For Pennsylvanians can request a common law grand jury to intercede for any contested action or preventative action by a paperwork General Assembly holding 25 autographs. The grand jury will convene within 30 days. And one note, the national and international law, the Magna Carta, for find herein 25 barons is our common law grand jury. Our 4 witnesses are our 4 servants, the notary, sheriff, commissioner, scribe, delegate, clergy, or layman, etc. So from this point down, there is a bit of the Magna Carta, which is in brackets, which means it's not on the paperwork, but it's here for reference only. And those references are number 30, 40, 45, 51, 52, 55, and 61. Continuing, number 9W. For no bills of attainder shall be granted. Number 9X. For a statewide grand jury can be convened for the purpose of warrant and for secrecy from one community to the next if there is probable cause of criminal actions between communities and or for international importance. Number YA. For permits or license for lawful actions are not required, and permits for license for unlawful actions are void from the beginning. Number 9 YB. For building permits or licensing of private mankind is void. Therein, building permits and detailed prints or blueprints for public, commercial, non-family, incorporated, or industrial, both foreign or domestic structures is required from the beginning for public safety concerns. Number 9Z. All mankind who are physically breathing oxygen and possessing a heartbeat within, without any use of a breathing machine, is living. No court can make assumption or presumption that of a living mankind, whereby saying the mankind is not standing at American common law. All assumption or presumption to the contrary by any legal court or agent is a committing crime, a criminal trespass against that mankind. For a legal court is any court that is administrative, or not a court of justice, or which are not elected and confirmed, or not bound by their word, or not agreeing with the Constitution for the United States of America and the Articles of Confederation. For every criminal act must be brought before a natural or common law grand jury of that one's peers. For all foreign administrative courts are without authority on the soil of Pennsylvania and or the land of Pennsylvania from the beginning, excepting for commercial courts at equity that are foreign or domestic commercial entities, and military courts are for military personnel. For all mankind must be provided first educated and competent counsel that is not a bar member. So, proper explanation of mankind's lawful defense is understood. Commercial courts are not allowed nor accommodated by mankind. Commercial courts for commercial entities, therefore, bar attorneys for commercial courts alone. No commercial courts may make use of public buildings without making restitution of a minimum $1,000 a day, or 50% of the funds recovered, whichever is higher. No military courts may make use of public buildings, except by warrant and to uphold military justice by protocol. Number 9, OA, or 0A, excuse me. This is number 9. Because we run out of letters, we are now starting with the number 0. So this is number 9-0A. For all fees, license, money, fines, and forfeitures heretofore granted or paid to the administrators, notaries, sheriff, and so forth, is used for the support of government, and shall hereafter be paid into the community's public treasury, unless altered or abolished by a future Pennsylvania Congress assembled. Number 0B. For courts of justice shall be established in the city of Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and in every community or county of this state, and cannot be closed or compromised. Number 0C. For there is no official maximum limit set upon mankind as to how long that he or she will work, as long as he is fit to work. It is an inherent choice owned by mankind. Retirement benefits are set according to contract. Age bias is forbidden.